Hey, I got one viewer. Cool. Okay, I set up a really cool experiment here. I just want to show something that Don Smith was working on. And he was working on plasma balls and try to extract the radiant energy coming off the plasma ball. And I want to show you a quick little demo. There's only one person online right now. Hopefully we'll get more people on soon. So what I have is an aluminum plate. So I got that set up here. And on this side I have a copper plate. Okay, I got the plasma ball there. So I got one lead coming off there from the copper plate going to the negative of my light. And then from the aluminum plate, I got another lead. And that goes to the positive of the light. So now we have a situation where we've created a capacitor in a way. So the flux, the field that's coming off this ball is going to light this light bulb up. But the only way you can get that to work properly is by adding a ground. So I'm actually going to use my sink because that tends to be a pretty good ground, earth ground. I'm kind of limited in the apartment here, but anyways, it's good enough for a demo. So I'm figuring out that this is going to work out best by creating a good field. So that might actually lead me into the plasma physics of this energy transfer. So we got the flux emanating from here. These plates actually, believe it or not, could go pretty far away. I could go a lot further probably. And but for the demo, a couple inches away is good enough. And yeah, we're going to do this Don Smith way of capturing energy. So I'm just going to shut the light off here. Bear with me for a second. I hope you like my kitchen. All right, so let's get the plasma ball going. It's hard to do this with one hand. All right, so we got the plasma ball going. All right, as you can see, the light's not lit up. I'm going to put the ground on. Look at that. We have power transfer. Look at that. Isn't that cool? See, the second I put the ground on it, I've completed the circuit. So now you can see how important the earth ground is to making the electrons move. So I got the aluminum plate as the positive and the negative plate as the copper plate. So I'm actually using the ground, believe it or not, on the positive is going to ground, which is kind of weird, but it works. Look at that. So you can kind of get the idea of how this field's working. So yeah, if you have any questions or comments, ask me now. I only got one person online, so I don't really have a big crowd right now. But yeah, this is pretty neat. So second I put it to ground, we got another person here, so I'll show. So I'm actually capturing the radiant energy, the flux that's coming off the two plates, one copper plate and one aluminum plate. And when I go to earth ground, whammo, we got power. So I hope you guys like this, and yeah, I'm working on quite a few things. So yeah, hope you enjoyed that little demo. And I've just been working on this other stuff here. Working with my spark gap, working with this coil here. This coil here seems to be working really good. So I've been messing around with that tonight, and I've also been messing around with an RF choke. So what this is helping with is basically it's sorting out the signal. It's taking away that high-end RF frequency and bringing it down to a more of a controlled frequency. So when you light up light bulbs, oh, thanks a lot. Yeah, thanks for your comments. Yeah, it's a lot of experimentation. That's what I've been doing for so long. So I was supposed to go online last night, and I had problems with my gallbladder, so I was kind of sick last night and was not feeling very good. Well, since we have a lot of people coming online again, I'm going to show what I've done here. So I've done this Don Smith generator. He was toying with the plasma ball. And so on the negative, I got a copper plate. And on the positive side, I got an aluminum plate. And then the aluminum plate at the bottom, I have a ground, which I'm grounding right to the sink. So I'm going to shut the light off again here. Some people have already seen this, but since we got a bit of an audience now, so I'm going to turn the plasma ball on. Come on, get on there. All right, so we got it running. And the second I hook up the ground, watch. There we go, we got power. Second I take the ground off, see? I'll try to get it in the picture here. Look at that. And that's 5.5 watts, by the way. And I'm just picking that up just off the EMF field, the field that this thing is emanating. It's hitting the copper plate, creating the ground or counter space. The aluminum plate's picking up the positive field, that's the flux that's coming off. And then when I put it to earth ground and I get those electrons flowing, we got power. Look at that. Just by touching the sink. See? It's pretty, that's 5.5 watts, people. Not bad, eh? For a plasma ball. Kind of crazy when you think about it, how simple it is. And it took me all of like 10 minutes to figure out the circuit. So I'll go over the circuit again. So this green wire is going to the aluminum plate, and that goes to positive. The negative goes to the copper plate here. Now, you would think from, I could actually even try it, but I'm making the negative off the aluminum plate. The second I put it to ground, oh, we got power. Pretty neat, eh? Any comments or questions? Let her rip. I'm here. This is live. So, yeah. Pretty neat little experiment. Very easy to do. All you need is a plasma ball. So, yeah, I'll be toying with that more in the near future. You can see all my stuff I got here. I got junk everywhere. Complete mess. And there's my spark gap generator. Been playing with this all night. I was supposed to be on Bernie's podcast last night, but I was kind of sick. I have problems with my gallbladder again, so that's the way it goes. And oh yeah, here's my battery I use for some stuff. It's my lithium iron phosphate battery. Probably the best battery on the market right now. Not particular this brand. I got this from Amazon. But the best part about it, it's a dry cell battery. There's no electrolyte in it. It's a dry cell. And even has a voltmeter hooked up on it. So I just recharged it. It's at 13.2 volts. This thing I got for like, I think it was 120 bucks or whatever it was. Took a while to get it because I had to get it shipped in from China. But yeah, but anyways, there's that's the aluminum plate hooked up to ground. Positive goes to the um, aluminum plate, and then at the bottom there, the ground. Then you put it to earth ground. So that's what I've been toying around with tonight. Actually, let's change the light. We'll go to a smaller light here. Magnesium sulfate for gallbladder. Okay, cool. I'll have to look into that. I love health tips, especially when it comes to something as painful as a gallbladder. Okay, let's try this light here. This one's low. This one's only a 4.5 watt, but she'll probably light up pretty good. Yeah, cheers, man. Okay, so I got the light going again. There we go. Here, I'll shut the light off here. Hold on. It's better when it's dark. Cool. I'll definitely keep that in mind. So there's the light. So we recreated a Don Smith experiment right here. See? And that's 4.5 watts. Lit up pretty good. I think the smaller one, the 5.5 watt, works better. And the second you put it to ground, that's when you get the electrons flowing. It has a place to go. See, they're accumulating all the electrons, all the magnetic flux is forming on the aluminum plate, but they're not moving. They have to go somewhere. I could even use my body. Look, I'm using my finger. Look. See, I'm using my body as the ground. Actually, is a better ground. Look at that, just my finger as the ground. So it's actually pulling electrons from my body to that plate. So we do have power in our body. If anybody doesn't think that, they're wrong. Our body actually has electricity in it. We're somewhat alkaline. Yeah, it's creating tension. Yep, for sure. I'm a battery. Yep, no doubt. See, this is disturbing the electrons hitting the plate, and I'm providing the ground or the electrons to add to the system, which brings that power through the green wire to the positive. And yeah, I'm a capacitor, thanks. Antenna, yeah, yeah. Battery, capacitor, whatever you want to call it, that's what I am right now. Cool little experiment, I love it. I like doing stuff like this. You learn something from it. And you can really come up with some cool stuff and actually make something, charge up capacitors or stuff like that, right? So, if you just joined us, yeah, I'm just toying around with some stuff, and I got my lithium iron phosphate battery. I use that for a lot of stuff. Yeah, no problem. I love sharing this stuff. This is cool. I work so many hours a week when I do this. This is my happy time, right? Cheers, brother. Enjoy your beer. So, yeah. Let's see what else I can show you. Okay, bear with me for a minute here. I gotta put this on a stand, and I can hook up the other light. Just bear with me for a minute. I'm still here. Just gotta hook up this other light back up here. Still here. I'm just hooking up lights here. I need a little more wire. Get this one hooked up. All right. All right. So I got this hooked up. I've been testing coils. I went coil crazy about a week ago. So I'm testing different coils back and forth, like non-stop. Okay, let's get this. This one's an 8 watt, I think. 8 watt bulb. And cool. I follow Tesla too, so here's some spark gap generator. That's 8 watts. That's the light lit up. So yeah, I just been toying around with inductors. So I got a primary and a secondary. The primary is 22 gauge wire, about 350 turns. And no, it's the 8 watts is not crackling. It's not the light, it's the spark gap. Yeah. All right. Yeah, I know it messes up the audio big time. That's the EMF. So yeah, that's what I've been working on. Inductors. I'm working on this RF choke. This helps smoothen out. I could actually hook this in line with this. That smoothens out the power, so it doesn't like flicker. You get more of a steady stream of power. Yeah, the system messes up audio. Putting a scalar. Yeah, well, it is a scalar wave. Yeah, definitely, most definitely. Yeah, I made these other coils last week, and these are like really tiny. They're 36 gauge wire. I've been toying around with these. These actually work really well. They could actually light up a light. If you put one inside, see like this coil here, I hook this up to the light and then shove it inside. It'll actually light the light up just by the induction. And I got some different sizes. These here are all 36 gauge wire. They're over 300 turns, and they're a bugger to wrap, like really hard. So it took me a while to do these guys. Very, very hard to do. The wires break so easy. Like they're like as thin as my hair. I don't know if you can even see that. They're so thin. But they make good inductors though. Yeah, a lot of time. Suggestion. MOT, what's that? Sorry. What's an MOT? Transformer? You talk about hooking it up to a transformer, or? Ooh, now you're talking. Yeah, I'll have to get a hold of one of those. Now, the thing is, too, when you hook up this system to a microwave transformer, it might not work because this thing's running in kilohertz. And when the frequency is too high, a transformer will not pick that up. You have to slow the frequency down. So I would have to put it through a RF choke, and then I would have to pulse modulate it down to a range where the transformer would actually be able to pick it up. So I'd actually have to take it from kilohertz and change it down to 60 hertz. And if I can do that properly, yeah, the transformer will definitely work. You've been driving yours backwards. So what, you're using the secondary as your primary? that's cool. Yeah, so I'll have to somehow get a hold of a transformer like that. I don't have one at my disposal at this second, but yeah, I don't know what else to show you. Uh, oh, okay, so you have to hook up the transformer to ground, earth ground. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, you always have to hook it up to ground. That's where now Don Smith, when he was talking about his unit, he left out a very important factor of how his Don Smith generator worked properly. And he put a resistor on the ground in series. Now it has to be, the ohms resistance has to exceed the ohms resistance of the coil being used. So say it was a 30 ohm coil, that means you had to use 30 ohm resistor or above that, and you would hook that up to earth ground. Now you can't use the small little ones. You got to use the big honking ceramic ones that are about 1.5 to 2 inches long. And when you do that, the amps just go up exponentially. Now, this is dangerous. So if you were to ever experiment with it, take extreme caution. Extreme caution. Because you could very easily start pulling 100 amps. And a lot of people know about this, but they won't say anything because it is dangerous, and it is. So anything I'm doing here, you know, always use your own discretion. If it seems too different, dangerous, then yeah, the resistance helps create the flow of energy, and it makes total sense because the electrons are the resistance in power, and that's how our systems are built. They work off resistance. So the more resistance you have in your circuit, it's gonna, you know, it's gonna drive a lot of current into our devices, and that's what our all our devices are based on: current, motors, lights, everything. It's all based on current, and Tesla wanted to go entirely the different route. See, with his system, you could use a lot thinner wires at a higher frequency and more controlled frequency and do the same job. But the powers to be had their way. They wanted to go with low, so 120 volts at 60 hertz. Okay, you touch that, you're dead. Okay, I could touch 5,000 volts at 34 kilohertz, and I can touch it and walk around. It won't kill me. But if you do 120 volts at 60 hertz, you're a dead man. So that's how they want it, and it destroys the energy because as soon as you have more electrons going through the circuit, you're actually destroying the energy. And Dollar talks about this extensively. It's the resistance in electricity. It's not electricity. And anybody who tells you electrons is electricity is totally off the rocker. So, yeah, I'm going to show this other experiment again, and then I'll. Yeah. See, what Tesla was talking about extensively with the spark gap generator says what you got to do is take the high voltage, high frequency and dump it into a condenser. Okay? You have to dump it in a condenser. And then the second you have it in a condenser, which he's talking about capacitor, then you can change the waveform any way you wish. Any way you wish. So that's how you can change the waveform. You can change it to AC, DC, whatever the heck you want. So that was actually in the article. I was reading about how he quenches the spark gap, and yeah, it works. So the whole idea is take this energy, whatever form it is, put it into a capacitor. Then from there, you can do whatever the heck you want with it. So I'm just hooking up the circuit again here. trying to do it with one hand. It's not the easiest thing to do. And I got one more wire. I just have to put it down for a sec. Bear with me here. All right, so I got the circuit hooked up. So I got the aluminum plate, I got a positive hooked up to the positive of the light, and then I have the ground also hooked up to the aluminum plate as well. And then on the other side of the negative, I've got it hooked up to a copper plate. So, sorry, my finger's in the way there. Okay, so that's the circuit, pretty easy. So this can be the ground. The second I touch it, even myself can be the earth ground. I hold capacitance. I'm like a battery. I'll turn the light off here. Get it running. Sorry, my finger's in the way. All right, so there we go. There we go. That's 8 watts, people. Yeah, I know. I need to clean the kitchen. Yeah, thanks. Had a good dinner tonight, so that's 8 watts. Second I hold it, watch. On the ground. That is so freaking cool. This is actually the first time I'm trying the 8-watt bulb. Yep, you need the two. Yeah, like this is 8 watts, everybody. I got aluminum plate here, copper plate over there. On the ground, and this thing's lighting up. Now, tell me that's not cool. Look, second I took it off, look. Now I could put it to the sink, earth ground, and it works pretty good too. Amazing. I love this. So I'll be toying around with this concept a lot more. Look at that. Just hooking it up to the freaking sink. Sink actually makes a pretty damn good ground. Or me. I got a lot of capacitance. I'm full of energy. It is just after midnight my time here in Canada. Just recreating some of Don Smith's experiments. Ooh, I got a bit of a jolt on there. Got a little arc on there. I don't know if you can see that. Ooh, yeah. Yeah. I got some power going in me. That's 8 watts. That's an 8-watt bulb. Copper's lossy. Yeah, that's why I got the positive hooked up to the aluminum plate. Actually, I got a bigger one in the car. So what I'm going to try to do with that is I'm going to make a capacitor. So I got 2 aluminum plates. Well, I might actually, I'll use the copper and aluminum, and I'll put a dielectric in the middle of it. Yeah, a lump of steel would hold the capacitance, yeah. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, see, I could hook this up to a capacitor. Yeah, there's an idea. Now you're thinking. Okay, let's see if I got something here to use. What am I going to use here? Let's look in my bag of goodies. Find some, everything you can imagine and more. There's my capacitors. Hold on, I just gotta put this down for a second here. Take this. It's locked. All right. Bear with me for a second here. I got these little, these are 11 kVA capacitors. Alright, let's see, I got these guys here, they're 11 kVA. And what I'll do is hook up one end, see if this actually friggin' works. Oh yeah, there you go. Okay, let me shut the lights off. All right, so now I got it hooked up to a capacitor. Look at that. That's 8 watts. Ooh, now it's hooked up to me. Right on. That's freaking cool. That's 8 watts, man. See now, actually, okay, I'm just going to touch the sink with this. Look at that. And I got the capacitor hooked up to it, so actually, this is what I want to do. Ooh, hold on. I'm thinking. Now you got me thinking. Thanks a lot. Okay. I'll grab another capacitor here. I got lots of these 11 kVA capacitors. All right. Let me hook this up here. Bear with me for a second. Hold on. How the heck am I going to do this? How the hell am I going to do this? Okay, got that hooked up. Shut the light off here. So now I got a capacitor, and I'm going to touch the plate with it. Oh, yeah. Look at that. Even brighter. So I got a capacitor coming off the plate here. See, I could hook up a ton of capacitors off this. I could do a whole bank. And I got the earth ground on the sink. On both ends, I got capacitors. Oh, crap. That's cool. Yeah. Liking that. So if you like what I'm doing, give me a thumbs up, everybody. I'll just get this hooked in a way so... there we go. Right on. 6 thumbs ups. Cool. Thank you. Yeah, so this is Don Smith's old style generator he was working with. It's just basically, it's getting it all off the flux. So I got a bigger plate in the car, aluminum plate, so I'm gonna maybe try to make a capacitor, I think. Maybe that's gonna be the next one. Change cap 1 wire, brother. Change cap 1 wire. What do you mean by that? Thanks, man. Thanks for the comments. Actually, I got bigger capacitors. See, look what you've done. Now you got me going. I got a hole. Okay, I'm gonna pull the big honking ass ones out. Hold on. Bear with me for a sec. Okay, so now we have 3 15 kVA capacitors. Okay, check this out. Flip this over. Come on. Get in there. We're gonna get light. Won't be too much. Oh, that's why. This guy got detached. Yeah, it's working. Yeah, works. Hold on. Let me get my stand here for a minute. Sorry, I gotta tilt you guys on the side. Get that hooked up there. this one off. Oops. That one up there. Hold on a sec here. I'll take this down here. Okay, now I can fart around with this. Alright. Let's try this again. There we go. Look how bright it is now. That's 8 watts. Pure power. That's cool. So I'm going to probably work on the capacitor. Yeah, I've done 30 minutes here. I think that's pretty much it for tonight. That's what I've been working with. If you like what I've been doing, thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't become a member. And my Patreon's there as well. And hopefully, I'll be doing a podcast tomorrow night with Bernie. It's probably going to be a late show. So, yeah. Yeah, the blue plasma balls are the nicest looking. That, even the green is good too. So yeah, we'll see everybody tomorrow night. Don't forget to check out his Crypto Alchemist, his backup website, his other site he had problems with. So yeah, we'll see everybody soon. Have a good night, everybody. Cheers.